Well, good morning, welcome back. Just showing you, luckily there's some cloud cover this morning. 73 degrees at 6:30 in the morning, which is warm for here in Ohio. And it's going to be another scorcher today. It's in the mid to upper 90s all week. It's Wednesday. This is a rare day. I took a day off work because some things were happening that people weren't going to be around today because there's a federal holiday. So I, rather than sit at my desk and get things done without people bothering me, I decided to stay home and get things done without people bothering me. So I've got the 950 tented. Why I'm out here so early, it's before it gets blazing hot. Sandblast these cast centers on the back of the 950 here, and then I'm going to paint them. And then Oliver Phil last night had his dad drop off. I need to sandblast those 3 green parts. He's going to, so for his welder, he wants to paint those Oliver green for the welder on his service truck. So I got to sandblast those, and then I also need to do these 2 front rims for the 950. So I'm going to get busy right now. I'm going to move things around. I'm going to get the A4T out of the way so that it doesn't get covered in sand and paint here in a little bit. Although I'm not going to do a ton of painting out here. But I want to get this done before the sun comes up, and then I bake out here. Because sandblasting in direct sunlight is hot anyway, even on a cold day. But it's going to be like terrible today. So I'm going to try to get this done. I don't know. I'm going to just talk about this, and if you see this tractor later, but I debated, do I want to sandblast and paint the backside of these? So from the factory, they were yellow and white on the outside. They're not horrible. They're not in horrible shape on the backside, plus with the tire on you can't really see them. And so late last night, as I was sitting around debating, coming up with my game plan for the day, which I like to do is come up with a good game plan, I decided I'm not gonna do those. I'm not gonna do the backside. I'm gonna leave those original. I'm just gonna do the outside because this obviously is not white, it's more of a red color. So whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. And I'm going to tell on myself on the front hubs. So I believe from the factory, the outside of these was white. You can see some of the white paint there. The backside is yellow. But I just don't like it when everything is so white. So on the 955, I painted that center cap there yellow, and I really like the way it looks. So since it's my tractor and I can do things the way I want, that's going to be yellow on this also. So just telling on myself of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and people may agree, people may disagree. I don't know. I'm the one that's going to be out here losing pounds of sweat, so I guess I can probably do it my way and feel okay about it. And yeah, then later today I'm going to go over and run the drone while Oliver Phil plants. So he wants some drone footage for his YouTube channel. And at some point today I might jump in the pool because I think I'm gonna need to. All right, I'm gonna quit talking and get to work. Sun's coming up. All right, so I used the new tool from Harbor Freight to get all the decals off that tin work. I got a sandblast for Phil. He didn't tell me there were so many stickers on it, but anyway, burn those off. And then I just wire wheeled the worst rust off of these rims, because sandblasting and rust don't get along great, but this rim was pretty rusty, so I just knocked the worst off, and then I just ran it around that inside bead there to make that a little bit better. Just kind of reminded me very quickly how glad I am I switched to sandblasting rather than wire wheeling everything. I used to wire wheel everything, and I can tell you that, yeah, you can see I'm already covered and it's not fun. So anyway, all right, I got to get the sandblaster going because the sun was just peeking out, and I want to get this done before I'm not here cooking like a pig on a roaster. All right, it's been about an hour. Got this side done. I don't know what that white paint is made of that they put on there, but it's like glue. The sandblaster definitely doesn't like it. So what I ended up doing is, and I'm going to come over here and do it before I start, but they really put it on thick right in this area and down into here. See all the runs? And the sandblaster does not like that. So I'm going to take the wire wheel, knock the white off in those areas, and that will help. That's what I did on the other side. It definitely helped it move faster. It's not as thick here. It's not as thick out here. It's not as thick up here. It must have been that they were shooting the gun directly at that and they put extra paint all around there. But holy crap, that stuff does not want to come off. And there's still some flecks of white over here that I'm not going to worry too much about. Here and there, there's just a little bit of white. But I mean, I hit it with the sandblaster, and if the sandblaster is not taking it off, it's not going to come off after I prime it and paint it. So that's where we are. I'm going to wire wheel the other side and then sandblast again for another hour. Luckily, the sun is still behind the clouds, because when it comes out, this is going to get miserable. I'm already sweating like crazy. All right, so I just went around the outside to about here and burned off as much as the white as I could. I think I just burned up my angle grinder. Milwaukee should sponsor me because I burned those things up. But anyway, now I can come back and sandblast. Hopefully less time, less sand, less sweating. But yeah, and it's the heavy duty angle grinder. I don't get the lightweight ones, but it was making it sound like a siren on a police car when I was done with it. And I don't think that's supposed to sound like that. All right, it's a little after 11. Got both sides done, got stuff taped off I need to get taped off. Breeze is picking up a little, which is not great, but it won't hurt anything, I don't think. Got the rims all set up to do. So I'm gonna mix up my primer, get that on. It won't take long for it to be, you know, ready to go as hot as it is, and then we'll get the color on. 12:40, so basically 6:30, about 6 hours. Sandblast, paint. Made it a lot shorter, but I had to blast those pieces for fill. And here's what I'm going to tell you is that the green paint that they use is stickier than the that is Sunbelt Reynolds is stickier than the white paint on there. And yeah, that's why that piece isn't done, because it was starting to warp everything, and I'm not gonna warp it. We'll find a way around it. But anyway, got these done. I think they turned out pretty good. I didn't see any runs. Oh, I see one. That makes it more like factory, because factory they had all kinds of runs in them. Good thing it's rough cast. And over here got the fronts. Kind of hard to see because this side's in the shade, but I think they definitely look better than they did, which was a rusty color that didn't look good. Here's the other side. So now I just need to let these 90-degree temperatures and this sun and the breeze do its job, and dry these things. As soon as probably tomorrow, I'll probably take the tarp off. I won't worry about hitting the rims. And then later this week, when I'm sure these are good and hard, and I'll probably still cover the rear cast centers. I'm gonna hot water pressure wash the tractor because there's still a lot of grease on it. And when I do that, seems like there was something else I was gonna hot water pressure wash. Oh, I might try to get the green off using paint remover and hot water pressure wash. I'm not sure yet, but anyway, yeah, get this cleaned up. I'm gonna probably look at my hubs up here before I put the wheels back on. This one had a little bit of play in it, so I want to see why. I'll clean these up and paint those, and then I might do some touch up on the yellow on here too after I hot water pressure wash it, because after I narrowed this up, I definitely beat it up some, thus the hammer blows. So I should paint all that. So that's where we are. Rear tire sitting over there. I'll get help when I put those back on, so hopefully I don't ding anything up. And now I'm going to head over to Oliver Phil's and do some drone footage after I put on a swimsuit and jump in the pool for a minute, because I am like soaking wet through my pants. Yeah, it's hot. It's very hot, but that's why I kind of took today off, is to get that blasted and painted, because that by this weekend I'll be able to remount the wheels, because that paint will be hard as a rock. It won't take long to dry in this weather. Came over to where Oliver Phil is replanting some beans, and he's got the 285 white hooked up to the planter. What stinks to be him today is it is dusty, and so he is doing it old style. He's getting covered in dirt. So if you haven't watched his YouTube channel, Oliver Phil at YouTube, and he's gonna have some drone footage that I'm doing for him. So he's got to make one more pass here, then he's gonna move to the back. I'm gonna put the drone back up when he goes to the back and get him some more footage. All right, it's Saturday. Power washer's going because Josh is over. He wanted to hot water pressure wash some of the old grease off that 1070, so I had the power washer out, so he came over to do it. But this went over and saw Oliver Phil, got this line. So this line replaces this steel line, and that steel line goes up by where the sensor is there and comes down to the filter, and it was leaking. And so what I found when I took that apart is the reason why is, if you can see those threads, they're not supposed to look like that. That thing was very cross-threaded, and so I decided I wanted to go with the rubber line because there was a lot of bind on that anyway. And so Phil made me the rubber line, and then I got a new fitting down here, and all that's together now, and so hopefully I won't have a problem. The paint's been curing. Today I'm gonna get the tires back on. Just got the front tires mounted this morning. Last night I painted my center caps there yellow. I know they're supposed to be white, but I painted them yellow because that's what I want, and then if I don't like it, I can always change it later. But last night I power washed the crap out of this thing. You can tell by all the clumps of old grease on the ground, but this thing was terribly gummed up with grease, and it's still some on there, but it's much better than it was. So I got that done while I have all the body work and the wheels off. And then I went around and I power washed the crap out of the wheels on the A4T and a little bit underneath with the hot water pressure washer. But today I'm gonna clean up where it's a little bit rusty there on the wheels, and then get them ready to paint. I bought a bunch of dish soap this morning. I'm gonna try using dish soap on the rubber and painting the wheels on, you know, this the way they are, but using dish soap to keep the paint off the rubber. The videos I saw it work. If it doesn't, I'm gonna have some great white wall tires on here, but hopefully it works. And then Monday, guy's supposed to come about windows and that. The other side window is plexiglass is gonna replace, and the cracked front window. But today the goal is to get wheels back on this thing. I'm trying to let that paint cure a little bit more. I got to unload the tires, front tires, out of the truck. We remounted those this morning, and one of the things I want to do is that paint's pretty dull, and you see that quite a bit when the tires are on. So I'm going to buff out both sides, the inside of the fender, since I can get to it right now, just to make it look better. So there's a bunch of grease I missed last night. I tried to get a lot of it, but there was just so much. I didn't get it all, but I got the worst of it. Okay, I'll bring you back in a little bit. Josh just got done with his power washing, and he's heading out. I think he's trying to get it in high, and there he goes. That's a good sounding, pretty cool tractor there. His dad bought that new. And he's running with the door open because the air conditioning doesn't work, but got the front wheels on, tires. They're a little dirty because mounting them, the juice to mount them, but got both these on. I think they look pretty good. I personally like the yellow center caps. That's just me. And I'm going to work on getting the rears mounted, and then I can get it off the jack stands. I can run it a little bit and make sure that nothing else is leaking. Fingers crossed. There goes Josh. That's awesome. All right, now for the fun of putting the rear tires on. Back on our own feet. Just washed off all the dirt off the rims, but I think just a little bit of paint without the body work on, you can already tell a difference. And the next thing I'm going to do is back in the barn and put on the body work, and then tomorrow it's supposed to rain, so I'll probably put decals on tomorrow. But I think much better, and obviously sounds good just running out of that straight pipe. So I like this tractor. I think it's going to look, I think it looks a lot better now. I think once I get the body work on, it's going to look even better. And she's ready to go to Greenville, and probably 4th of July. Probably, since she's spruced up, new shoes on, we might do 4th of July parades. Well, I spent a bunch of time in here getting the body work on, only to realize that in my, I don't know, absent-mindedness, I put this over the white, which it should be under, and then the black stripe, when it comes across, it makes it all look uniform, and I didn't do that. So I was like, I want to get those wheels painted, but I'm kind of like, that's going to take a while, and this is taking long, and I'm kind of like weighing things out. The grass needs cut. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. So here's what I came up with. I'm going to stop on this. I'm going to mess with this tomorrow if it's raining. If it's not raining tomorrow, then I will finish prepping those wheels and I will paint them, and then I'll mess with this. But today I'm going to cut the grass before it rains tomorrow. I think that's a decent plan. Anyway, I think this is looking really good. I think refreshing the hoods, don't trip. I think once I get the bubble nose on it, the rest of the paint on it, so just doing the hoods and the white, the wheels, the nose piece, I think this thing is going to look really nice, mostly original other than some paint there. So I'm pretty excited, and I'll get the decals on when things go. But the paint, it's kind of hard to get, but it's dusty, but it looks good, and I think it matches up. You know, the propane tank is original, and can't really tell a difference there, so I'm pretty happy with it. So all right, I'm gonna go cut grass, and we'll get back on this. And since so many people have made comments about how bad the wheels on that thing look, we're gonna get that done, and that'll make that thing look better also. The A4T will be all freshened up for I'm gonna take it to the Plain City show, hopefully, so it'll look good down there. All right, time to mow. All right, it's Sunday. Came out. First thing I did was fix my mistake from yesterday and got the white piece on top of the yellow piece. That was my mistake. So had to take apart quite a bit to get that, but I switched that around. And then I just put on the hydraulic lever cover here. I just washed it before I put it on, and then in the back, put this cover back on here. That's kind of the back side of that. So I don't know what secures it on this side because it's kind of loose. But anyway, I think that looks a lot better. And I think I'm going to try to do the decals today. There's the hydraulic cover from this side. It's a good, clean, non-broken one, which is very rare. Well, not very rare, but pretty rare. So yeah, I'm going to try to do the decals. I need to go in and get them, and then kind of figure out, I gotta remember how I did these in a way that I didn't screw everything up. The hard part is going to be the long black line, keeping that straight, and then of course the big Minneapolis Molines on the sides here are that was going as one piece too, but I'll get it figured out and bring it back and show you the results, and then we can put all the nose piece on, and then this thing should look pretty good. Well, took a while, but got the decals on and I got everything back together, and I think it looks pretty good. other than my decal work. Might leave a little bit to be desired. But she's a G950 all labeled up again. I think she looks pretty good. I'm going to pull her out in a minute and we'll get her out in the sun. And yeah, looks pretty good. There is a mistake on this side that I'm probably not going to be able to live with, and I'm probably going to end up having to peel the Minneapolis Moline decal back off because there's a 1/4 inch difference between this end and that end. And I can see it, and I know other people will, and my buddies will never let me live that down. You know who you are, all of you. I can start naming. So, gonna have to fix that. The other thing I screwed up on, if you're gonna do this, I started my tape down here and ran it down. Don't do that. Start it down here and get this lined up, because I've got a little gap there and it's wrong, and that tape should match up exactly with that. So there is a chance that eventually I'm going to have to peel off that and do that over also. I might do that too. I don't know. A little disappointed in those two things. The one good thing is I got, they sent this along, this warning decal. I didn't ask for it, but I told him I was working on a propane. He sent that. I appreciate it, because that's what would have been on there. I got those from R&M Distributors out there in Vale, Iowa. They are great at their decals. These are not decals that I sell, and I am not a decal person. I mean, I sell them, more deal with decals and the kits to do the plates over like these to make them look like new. Neither one of these have it, because those are perfect originals, and this is my workhorse. But up there you can see that's G1000, G900 size, and one of them has it and the other one doesn't. But anyway, it makes it look original by keeping the aluminum around and the decals going. Anyway, other videos showing that. So all in all, I'm pretty happy. Got everything back together, got my tools up. So it's been raining off and on. So a couple times I've been really tempted to like stop and come out and start working on the A4T wheels, and then it downpours again. And so I'm glad that I just kept working on this thing. But I know that I need to get that painted up, because my man Nick Ohio MM, he doesn't want to drive it around, I'm sure, with splotchy wheels on it. So he's pretty particular about, things. His mom said they were going down the road the other day and he saw a Farmall M, and he said that the A4T is a much better tractor. I would agree, just because it's a Moline and he's learning. So anyway, I'm gonna get the truck out of the way. I'm gonna pull this thing out in the sun, and it's the debut of the freshened up G950 propane. One more quick thing before I pull it out. Sat in here all night, ran it yesterday. No leaks other than this little drip of oil right here. That little drip of oil is coming from where the governor goes in. So I didn't mess with that. So I guess it wouldn't be a Moline if there were no drips. So there's the one drip, but everything else, this thing was leaking a lot of hydraulic fluid from every place. From the steering cylinder, from every place. And as of right now, no leaks. So I'm gonna call that a win. Yes, Oliver Phil, you did a good job on those lines, and everything is good. All right, we'll start her up and pull her out in the sun. Those are sweat smudges on the hood from me yesterday when I was messing with the hoods. I was sweating like crazy. The 3-point up. Try not to hit anything. all gussied up. I'm sorry, there's a little pause there because I'm like, it's first I've seen it being able to step back. I'm pretty happy. Yep, she looks good. White wheels. Cylinders, I just need to clean them up. I put paint on those, but I had dirty hands. I know why the 3-point went down. I didn't set the position control up. And there we go. That's all it takes to hold those up. And it's still working some air through the system. But yeah, so there she is. It's a lot of work, but not really. I mean, the sandblasting and painting was the worst of the wheels just because it was super hot. The hood cleaning it up wasn't bad. Rob helped me out huge on getting the paint done. And yeah, it's gonna look good at Greenville, probably 4th of July. Look how smooth it runs. I'm pretty happy. So that's probably gonna be it for this video. I will make another one when I get to the wheels on that. But today's a good day because she's out, although I screwed up the decals. All in all, it's not terrible. And appreciate everybody watching. Please make comments if you have any, and please like and subscribe if you haven't. And until next video, which will be getting some paint on these wheels after I prep. I gotta get the grinder out and grind that spot, but this thing will look a whole lot different just doing the wheels on it. It's crazy how much just doing wheels, if you remember what this thing looked like before. Yeah, so till the next video.